Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the Hong Kong Sevens final. Fiji, 5 times in a row, they have lifted this trophy at the end of a Hong Kong tournament, whereas Australia, they are the World Sevens Series champions from 2022. So this is going to be a massive matchup. Australia looking determined. We are just hearing their national anthem. As always, we saw passion on the face of the Fijian players, but the Fiji starting lineup will be as follows: Vakuna Billy in that starting lineup alongside Talatholo, Jeremiah Matana, Waisi and Nathunu, also Saturanga, Bukayaro, and Nodawalo. That will be the Fijian side that they have gone with. Whereas for Australia will be Henry Hutchinson, Dietrich Roach, Tim Clements, Henry Patterson, Josh Turner, Nick Maloof, and Maurice Longbottom. So quite a strong side for the Australians. Making a few changes, though, with James Turner out of the starting lineup. And I believe Tim Clements is the man who has made his way in for him in that regard. And go Fiji go, says Naomi and Bulla. David cheers, says Catherine, and also Bully everyone, says David the Mod there in the chat. So it seems like a lot of people are going for Fiji in this matchup. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you think the Fijians can make it 6 in a row, or will we see an Australian upset? I believe Fiji will be coming in as favourites, as they should be, with the amount of talent that they have got in their lineup. Looking off the bench, they've got Mothina Thangi, Maisamoa, Saro, Walangi, and also Wale Soliso. So not a huge amount of experience for Fiji off that bench. And also Aussie, oi, says Darlow. But the Aussies, they want to start exactly how they ended that last season, which was becoming the champion. But to do so, they're going to have to beat Fiji. It's a pretty even head-to-head between these two sides. A seesaw battle normally is what occurs, but Fiji, they will be kicking off this one from left to right, and the final of the Hong Kong Sevens is underway. What a leap that is from Nodovalo, claiming the ball for the Fijians. Now Talathola, ball on the outside, and already Fiji into the 22. Great low tackle made on Jeremiah Matana, but the pace that Fiji are trying to match here can be unrivaled by other Sevens side, definitely with those offloads that do come from the flying Fijian. Talathola going to play halfback, goes off to the left-hand side. Waisi and Nathunu gives it across. But the thing is, Australia are not out of a game until the final whistle. The reason I say that is you look at their game up against Ireland in the quarterfinals. They were down by a lot of points, but still managed to get themselves the win. Talatholo cutting up the middle, spins as well, finds the offload, and Joshua Nakonarabili kisses the ball as he puts it down. And that will be the first try of the match for the Fijians. And just starting, says TC, they certainly are. An upset is happening. We got first last year for a reason, says Darlow. And there are a great leap through the sky from Fiji to be able to retain the kickoff. Then from there, Talatholo, he lured in Longbottom, also lured in the other defender who was out there on the wing, and it did cost them a try. I've been looking forward to this clash, says David the Mod. Yeah, it's always an entertaining game, and the tempo that I mentioned seems like it is going to be maybe kept the whole matchup, which is absolutely huge, and Fiji's stamina will certainly be tested. The same can be said about the Australians, as they might have to make a lot of tackles throughout this match. And yep, all on, says Catherine. That kick has gone away to the left-hand side, so the score at the moment will remain 5-0 in favour of Fiji throughout this Hong Kong Sevens final. Undefeated in the last 36 matches in Hong Kong, this Fiji side find themselves. Last time they lost was a semi-final loss against England in 2014. That's a long time. That's like 8 years. I was a lot shorter 8 years ago, believe it or not. That one's gone into touch. Believe no one was able to get their hands on it. It will be an Australian quick throw taken. They've slinged it right across. Maurice Longbottom didn't look like he was quite prepared for it. Now goes off to the right-hand side. Quick hands. Henry Patterson looking to charge up the middle of the field. And back, sorry, it's Henry Hutchinson breaking down the line. Going close to touch on the far side of the field. Patterson plays half. Gives it across. I haven't really seen too much of Dietrich Roach yet, but I believe he will be lurking out there on the wing. And now he almost receives the ball. If Nick Maloof decides to pass instead, will hit the ball up once again, 40 metres out from the line. Now Fiji find themselves and almost driven into touch. Maurice Longbottom does extremely well to not just keep that ball in the field of play, but keep it on the side of the Australians. Patterson's given that an almighty heave wide, but it was forward. And now Fiji will have themselves the scrum feed. And we do our best work at the end. Here's Darlow, and they certainly did that in their game up against Ireland and France. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. I feel like that is the model that Australia, or the motto that Australia really follow in the Sevens circuit. The first Hong Kong Sevens final since 19 92, I believe that said. Man, that was big contact from Bukayaro around the chest of Henry Hutchison. He certainly felt that one, but he still looks like he's going to be all right to continue this fixture. Australian coach, he'll be nervous seeing this Australian side slowly grow throughout the competition. Fiji actually the only undefeated side, though. It's going to become a free kick there for Fiji. Bukayaro tried to take quickly, but wasn't quite on the mark. Not too sure what happened there. I think Nodovalo and Talafolo both tripped each other. I was wondering how two Fijian players ended up on the ground without anyone making a tackle. While they were on attack, I should mention. But yeah, I think they got themselves a little bit tripped up on each other's long levers. Now going to the right. Vakonarabili finds the beautiful offload and now pinning the ears back. Waisi and Nathunu between the posts scores again for Fiji. This will now make the score more than likely 12 points to nil. But like I mentioned, cannot count Australia out till the end of the game. Ratu is going for Fiji in this contest, and we'll be very happy to see the fourth try of the Hong Kong Sevens for Nathunu going in straight up the middle of the park. Pierces the gap beautifully and does manage to put that ball down. Billy, like I mentioned, those offloads from Fiji can be absolutely lethal. They just find a little gap in your defense, and it's just too hard to try and reset in time to be able to stop that unpredictability. It's gone over down the middle of the park, or down the middle of the post, I should say, sorry. 12 points to nil, 2 minutes 20 left in the first a little while. And also shoelaces, says Catherine, and who's top try scorer for the Hong Kong Sevens? It is Grandidier. He was able to get himself 11 tries, actually matches the highest amount of tries seen in a Hong Kong competition for a long time. Fiji have only conceded 7 tries this weekend, the least of any team, and they will be looking to continue that way as well. Patterson now fires it across, great hands. Who was that? Whoever it was, he's broken the line now. That was actually Tim Clements. Now on the ball, penalty goes against Fiji. I believe that was for being past the ball and then bringing his hands back. So not supporting the body weight. Now Dietrich Roach down the wing, tries to tip it around Vakurabili, looking for the offload. Nick Malous has to jump on it. Now Vakurabili, he's got the penalty for Fiji in the breakdown. And now quick tap might be taken by Nodovalo. It is indeed. Gives it across to the left-hand side. Fiji, if they can score themselves another try before the end of this first half, that would certainly help them towards a possible goal here. Nodovalo finds another offload. Nathunu gives it on the outside to Jeremiah Matana. Good low tackle made on him by Henry Hutchison. Over the ball, though, Maurice Longbottom does take it back. Counter ruck from Fiji, but not countering enough to be able to get that ball back. 1 minute left on the clock for the first half. Between these two sides, no way Australia. Says Ratu, ball on the outside from Josh Turner, gives it to Nick Maloof. Still find themselves inside of their own half with quite a bit of distance to go. Now fire back across. Henry Patterson gives it off to Maurice Longbottom. Now ball on the outside. Nice work down the wing from Henry Hutchison. Tackle 40 metres out now. Australia seem very patient in the way they're building into this, not rushing it. They know Fiji are going to be able to hit them hard. Dietrich Roach tries to pierce through the gap, doesn't quite find the offload into the hands of Turner efficiently. But now Patterson will go off to the right-hand side. Nice step from Maurice Longbottom. Said that name very weird. Clements now going through. Once again trying to spin. Good low tackle made on him by Jeremiah Matana. This Fijian defence, you can see why they have conceded the least amount of tries throughout this competition. They just don't seem to leak them. But inside ball, Nick Maloof with the step. Good tackle on him. Looks for the offload to Josh Turner. I think Bukayaro was asking for the penalty off the ball. He doesn't receive it. 3 seconds left of the half now. And Australians have number out to the right, but they don't use it. I messed up about 5 words in that statement. Josh Turner now going to the right. Now the wide cutout pass from Maurice Longbottom into the corner. Henry Hutchison scores it. And now Australia get themselves slightly back into the contest. And also it was always going to be Fiji's. He's not year-a-day contest. So with that last-minute try for the Australians, we'll help them a little bit further back into this match. This is an important kick, though. This one does need to go over. Score now sitting, though, 12 points to Fiji, 5 for the Australians. Watch that Longbottom. There's Catherine there. Henry Patterson hits the line hard, gets back up to his feet, recycles nicely. That was probably what stopped Bukayaro from being able to get themselves that turn. I see membership coming from Sebastian. One moment, we will go like this. And we will go like this, hopefully. I think that's a little bit more efficient than we normally are, Sebastian, in terms of my end, that is. Being able to go through membership surpassed by longest ever relationship. or surpass my longest ever. I mean, mine's only like a month, so I feel like you've done pretty well there. Overall, 16 months is impressive. And also the laughing face from Not Your Everyday Cultist and there as well. And also Aussies out of their own World Cup. Says Heath. The crowd are chanting a bit of Queen, but currently halftime in this contest. It is sitting 12 points to 5 in favour of the Fijians, and Hutchos, has us in a real good position for the comebacks on. Says Darlow there as well. So is that, I'm assuming, out of their own World Cup in terms of the Cricket World Cup, I assume that is. Possibly, but tackles made, 7 by Fiji, missing the 3. 3 tackles made by Australia, missing the 2, and the line break sitting 1-1 at the moment. Australia having a lot more passes, making 30, but not able to break through as many times as they would have liked. Fiji just conceding the 1 try, which is about the average. They concede 1 to 2 tries per matchup. They actually conceded twice up against the Japanese that first match, including a very early try in the first little while of the matchup, but it is 1 versus 3 in terms of last year's rankings. Fiji will want to get themselves on. Congratulations, Sebastian, says David. Yeah, 16 months is absolutely incredible. And I feel like I do need to add something for the 2-year mark. I feel like it's got to be something so special. I don't know what to make it, though, because I feel like the diamond button, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like for 24 months, there's got to be something that's just like, perfect. And I can't think of what that would be because we've got a silver, we've got a gold, we've got the bronze. I think I actually, out of all of them, I think I still prefer the original Kiwi Lads one with the yellow and the black just because it is combination of the logo. And thank you, David. You must be around the same milestone, says Sebastian. Yeah, he must be getting close. Up there for Double David, as he used to be known. David 23, I believe, was the number, wasn't it? If I'm not wrong there. Now, Dietrich Roach. Going to be kicking this one up high. Just travels the 10. Maloof hits it back onto the side for Henry Hutchison and the Aussies. Now Maurice Longbottom going to go back across in the middle of the field. Clements, we've hardly seen him. That's going to be a nice flick pass over the top. It was flat, but now Nathan Lawson trying to keep in the field of play up to the 22 now for the Australians. Now Longbottom goes across to Turner. One more to Hutchinson. He's got the man with him, but he's going to run it extremely hard at the line. 5 meters out. Fiji almost, they get the turnover. That was big. Well, it was on Josh Turner. He was pushed over backwards by Billy. Now off to the right-hand side, Fiji going to go for the fin. Bukayaro passes off Nuttall. Valo drops the ball cold. And I believe that's going to become the penalty in favour of the Australians. And so am I, says Catherine. And there's now Dietrich Roach. Goes off to the right-hand side. Nick Maloof steps inside. That was strategic because he didn't want it to be a hard kick for the kick taker if they did get that far. Now Clements, quick hands from Turner. Class act. That number 7 for the Aussies. Offload on the inside. And Clements will score it for Australia. That will make it a little bit closer. And also David has revealed the length of his loyalty boss. One moment. Yeah, 14 months for Double David. Oh, yeah, because you had that situation, didn't you, with your card? It didn't like you on the YouTube system for some reason for a while. So that is why you're probably 14 rather than 16. But 14 still is crazy. Like, that's over a year. That's 365 days of me sitting here talking very fast. And you guys haven't gone, sick of him now. And Jesus subscribers, I wonder where you rank. Size of all New Zealand YouTubers says Not Your Everyday Cultist. I think there's actually a system you can check. We will do it straight after the match, I guess, and let you guys know where we are sitting overall. And also, we get cheers, Sebastian, Goodman, and Hamish. Says David the Modern How's it, boss? Says Nate and the channel. Let's go Fiji and Australia. From Nate there. But 94% of the polls say that Fiji are going to be able to go on and win this final. Currently very close, though. 10 points to 12. Still a narrow margin for the Fijians in the lead. And Social Blade says Darlow Fan Sports. That's the one. That's the name of it. Now, back across. I've noticed that the numbers on Social Blade, though, in some regards are very wrong. From our knowledge, it's going to be Nathunu running it forward. He's going to score the try for the Fijians. And that will now make the score just a little bit more in favour of the Fijians. They will now be sitting on the 17 points, I believe. Although the scoreboard now has them up to 22. So they've added 10 points for that one. And also, Nate, you're a mod. Welcome to the Mods family, mate. I realised after, I think it was last night, and I realised Nathan wasn't actually a mod. And I thought he was, so I just pretty much knighted him there. I played him Happy Birthday because that was the only celebratory song that I knew. And how's your day been, says Nate to David, and damn it, says Darlow, and can see into the future. Fiji will win, says Randolph. Can you see specifically enough into the future to see what the score's going to be, Randolph? Do let me know. Currently in this game, it is sitting 17 points to 10 with 3.5 minutes left on the clock. A lot more passes made by Australia. They've actually made 44 in this matchup, but they still have not quite been as successful as they would have liked to be. The tackle completion relatively even for both of these sides. Going to be kicked off short by the Fijians, going high, trying to slap it back. It's going to bounce up for Josh Turner, though. Brilliant dodge of the tackle. A lot of rush defense there. Not Ovalo wrestles him down around the neck, though. So Dunbar able to take the quick tap. That's not going to be 10 meters back. Dunbar goes off to Maurice Longbottom. Australia still well and truly in this contest at the moment. Now Dietrich Roach goes down the wing. And you go, mate. And on a most genuine note, I haven't grown sick of your commentary on the opposite. I can only stand your voice and barely any of the official commentators, says Sebastian there. Because I wanted to do the maths the other day, but I realized it would take a long time to do. But I wanted to work out how many hours of commentary we've actually done. And it would be a huge number, like more than it should be, I guess you could say. Yeah, we've been branching out. We've done a little bit of rugby sevens, rugby union, rugby league, cricket, a little bit of football scattered throughout there as well. We've kind of done a little bit of everything. And I feel like there's still more to come over on that Kiwi Lad Sport channel as well. And this is your official Randolph prediction. Well, there is your official. So 27 points to 10 to Fiji. Randolph goes for the cross kick. He better hope that Henry Hutchison doesn't hang on to this one then, because he's gone in almost. Yes, he does. He stretches out. And Henry Hutchison, they may check this one just to make sure it's not a double movement for the Aussies, but I believe it is going to be a legal try. And Aussie over there, you're already wrong, says Darlow in there. Henry Hutchison, third try of the Hong Kong Sevens. Maurice Longbottom found the picture-perfect pass out wide off the cross-kick boot, and Henry Hutchison backed himself to go in because of Kanye West's latest action, a.k.a. Copper Cap. Said he no longer wearing sneakers. He is known wearing high heels, says Was in there as well. I actually got a new pair of sneakers a little while ago. Fun fact, that was a really random fact that probably no one cared about, but they look quite nice. They got a bit of green on the side, so I probably couldn't wear them on live stream. If I showed you guys, they'd be invisible. And also, and you're already wrong. Said not everyday cultures and Rudolph's just got the emoji. And there as well. But Talathola, he's going to be in the sin bin for another 30 seconds in this contest. Dietrich Roach will be putting the ball high up to the short side. Nicely taken, though, by, I believe it was the number 4 there, Mothirothangi, who got it nicely. Still 1 minute 19 left on the clock for Fiji, so they can't afford to waste time here. They're actually going deep into their own 22 to try and create that gap for my son Moa to make his way forward. Now back across. One man disadvantage for the Fijians currently, but you wouldn't think of the way they've been going. Or a little bit of a slip there for Bukayaru. That's almost actually, Satorunga's just knocked that ball on. No, it's a penalty instead in favour of Fiji. And don't worry, Randolph, we're not used to spot-on predictions anyway. Yeah, I'm normally a mile away. One of the brand of sneakers, they were actually Puma ones. And I like the camaraderie on the Kiwi Lads, especially when Mr. Meyer is on here. Says David, that's actually really coincidental, David. I'll show you after the match why that's very coincidental, because you've said a statement that's really strange, because I also said that same statement a little bit earlier on. In the corner, Lawson has scored it. This might be the Australian win here. He's celebrated big time. They've still got time left on the clock. What single fact makes Fiji better? I think it's their offloading game. They just keep on going. They want to check this one upstairs. Where is it? Yeah, I said you're a smart man, Mr. Meyer, was one of the comments. I think Lawson's got this one down, and that could be an Australian win here, depending on how this next kickoff goes. The referee looks like he's in shock as well. You may award the try. Australia take the lead with only 20 seconds left on the clock. Jeremy's not listening. He can't hear anything. Jeremy's going, what's the guy saying? I cannot hear him in my ear. He says the try stands, says the touch judge. And what says Catherine? So now Australia, they are sitting 20 points to 17 with 20 seconds left on the clock. Do the Kiwis say mate? We do say mate a little bit. We also probably say bro. Oh, no. The tears are flowing at the moment for the youngster Nathan Lawson when he scored it in the corner, although there's still a kick to come. I don't know whether or not this confirms the win for Australia. I think there's still one last play that they have to go for. Actually, no, because it was before the 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds was left, it means that this kick is going to be celebrating for the Aussies. They have done it. They've broken the streak of the Hong Kong Sevens. They have stopped Fiji from getting their sixth, and Australia will go on and win themselves this one. Nathan Lawson is in tears. His face is bright red. He's looking sunburned out in Hong Kong. He doesn't know what to do. He's just kind of going in circles, screaming at the ground. And also, I should go on today. Says the big V8 show, and also George English is colourful to say the least, says David the Mod. And funny you mentioned that, because in about, I would say 40 minutes time, I was a little bit late editing it, but we are going to have a video coming up on the channel of me and George playing Samoa versus Tonga, where you will hear some more of that very colourful language from Mr. Meyer. He knows all the bad words. I have to censor a lot of them. In fact, some of them actually were that bad that I had to cut them out of the video rather than just leaving them in and censoring them. That last one. And Australia with the clapping from Creeper Reigns. A good job to Aussie. And very good from the Aussie, says Sebastian. Yeah, getting themselves a massive win in Hong Kong. And they will now be defending champions of the Hong Kong Sevens. Henry Hutchison is still shouting, celebrating well, just well. They do have that will to win, says Randolph there. And also, no, says Catherine. So yeah, that video with me and George will be coming out on the channel at 1 a.m. just because that will be by the time I get it all edited. Or it's already edited. It just needs to be uploaded, which will take about 10 to 15 minutes to get it there. And we are the champions of Hong Kong. No time for Fiji because we are the champions of Hong Kong, says Darlow. And also West Fiji won, but it is what it is, says DC. So yeah, big victory for the Australians. You can see the disappointment on the face of Fiji. They would have loved to be able to take out this one. Again, referee play muck-up game, says Emira. So what decision would you say in that game was the one you think was the wrong one, Emira? Do let me know. I assume maybe the yellow card for Talatholo, possibly. And also, if you had to cut out George swearing, the whole video would be muted, says David. I guess one way of describing it is normally we will try and go between 8 and 10 minutes for our rugby league live videos, somewhere around there, just so you guys know. This one's about 6 minutes. So there was a lot that was cut down. Why Fiji team gets targeted, says Amira there. And can't believe Australia won, hard luck. And also Hong Kong 7, says Kai Hong won there. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also can't believe Australia won, hard luck, says Creeper Reigns. Yeah, massive win. Nick Maloof now getting interviewed after this matchup, and they can't quite believe the amount that they've had to dig deep there. And big up the Oz, says Nate there. So like they've said, the last time they were in a final was about 1988. And to go on now in 2022, win the Hong Kong Sevens, build momentum heading into Dubai, which will be early December. It's going to be very entertaining. See how it does develop. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, in about 30 minutes time or so, also not the yellow card, but game controlling was out of ref's control, says Amira. And there's also, he is not happy with the refereeing in that contest. I think that's the thing. There's always going to be decisions that go against both sides. I would say overall the referee in this game, I don't think he did terribly. I think he could have had one or two decisions against both sides that didn't quite go the way that he would have liked. But overall, I think it was not too bad from the French referee. And congratulations to Australia, says Ranjesh. And also we've got the Australia deserve that win. It's not easy beating Fiji, says David the Mod. Exactly right. And once again, the comeback kings for the Aussies being able to get from behind in the early stages of the match. And then they drove forward, got themselves back into the lead right at the end with the try in the corner from the youngster for Stuart Dunbar. And correct, David, says Randolph. And that's, 1 a.m. We are going to be having our game between Samoa and Tonga at 3:20 a.m. We will be starting our live stream for the Rugby League World Cup. That will be between Samoa and Tonga in real life. That's going to be an absolutely awesome game. And we will have to see exactly how it goes. Okay, we are great, full. We take the defeat, but later, come on, mates, says Amira. And that's the thing. I feel like sometimes a defeat makes the Fijians stronger. And they're one of those sides that they learn from their mistakes. They'll then be able to keep on improving. I'll go on to Social Blade now. I just remember not the everyday cultist, only because you mentioned it. Other than that, I would have forgotten. And that came just spent 4 hours without power here in South Africa. Says not your everyday cultist. Right. I'll see what I can learn for the New Zealander side of things. Okay. So in New Zealand, We are ranked 695th in New Zealand. That's weird. That's really weird. Like, that's a low number. It's really strange. Another way, mate, bro. Says Nate, and also we over there, get salty. And there's says Nate, and also we over there, what a phrase. Says not your everyday cultist. And there as well. I like how the estimated monthly earnings is $83 to $1,300. That's quite a margin. I'm not even sure what our monthly earnings are, to be honest. I feel like that's something I should look at, but I always just go, if you guys are enjoying the videos, we're just going to keep on making them, and then we'll go from there. If we end up with enough money to buy a new microphone or a new set of lights, we will do that. But other than that, we just do it for the love of the sport and the love of doing these live streams, getting to hang out with you guys each and every week. And what a sevens, congrats, Oz, the curse of Fiji finally ends in Hong Kong. Yeah, 5 in a row. But now Australia have been able to break it, and they do move on. I'm just looking through those stats. Those are very weird that you can look at on Social Play. We are a B minus, so who knows? Maybe in the future we'll try and get ourselves a little bit higher in our grading system, try and get to a B. That could be quite cool. Nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in. We have given three trophy to the Aussies to clean it up, polish it, and see you next season, says Amira there. Yeah, the Aussies, they will certainly know that they are now the side with the target on their back. Your rugby knowledge, Hamish, is awesome, says David the Mod. I do appreciate that a lot, mate. And yeah, we are forever learning more and more about it. Where's Jimmy Jackson? I'll have a look. He'll be up there, though, won't he? Jimmy Jackson. He is ranked as the 16th New Zealand YouTuber, which is pretty high. And he is only, so he's a B for his total grade, even though he is on 1,280,000 subscribers. He's got to be. Okay, maybe we're not going to get to that B too close. And also great to hang out with you guys. There's the round off. I was indeed. And we have got plenty more coming up later on tonight. We have got another live stream, Samoa versus Tonga. I do recommend coming over for that one when it does take place as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And the gentleman ranked. Wait, who is the gentleman? I don't actually know the gentleman. The gentlemen. I don't think I've heard of their channel. They are, they're from New Zealand. They are 416th for the country ranking. And also take care. And also, what do you need to get an A? Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, I'll actually look up who's someone who's a really big YouTuber. First one that I can think of, I mean, PewDiePie, of course, is one that comes to mind. I want someone who's not, you know what, we'll go Mr. B. Surely he's an A+. He is an A. Okay, maybe you can't get an A+, because Mr. Beast, he's second in the USA. Who's above Mr. Beast in the US? Oh, that's an interesting one. Who is higher in the US than Mr. Beast? It is actually subs-wise. There's a channel called Coco Melon Nursery Rhymes in the US, and they've got an A++ in their ranking. Interesting. I haven't looked into this at all. And also there, Jimmy Jackson says, Nate, and also the Kiwi Auditor. And also thanks, Take Care says, not everyday cultures. But thank you all very much for tuning in. It was Australia getting themselves the victory, 20 points to 17. Thank you all very much for being here. We will see you all in a few hours' time for the next live stream, Tonga versus Samoa.